Welcome to The Explainer. Man, I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are breaking down what is shaping up to be the most fascinating, tactically diverse, and emotionally charged group of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We're taking a massive magnifying glass to Group G. If you love a clash of different footballing philosophies, incredibly high stakes, and just pure, unadulterated drama, you are going to absolutely love this breakdown. Okay, let's dive into this. This number, 4, represents something incredibly rare in modern World Cup draws. Group G features 4 completely different continents colliding in a single group. We've got UEFA representing Europe, CAF for Africa, the AFC for Asia, and the OFC for Oceania. It basically means we're getting a geographic and stylistic mix that you almost never see in a group stage. It's like a giant puzzle where every single team brings a totally different way of playing the beautiful game. So here is our agenda for today. First up, the ultimate global group. 2, Belgium, the last dance. 3, Egypt, Salah's final shot. 4, Iran, the Asian powerhouse. 5, New Zealand, the disciplined underdog. And finally, number 6, predictions and key matchups. Section 1, the ultimate global group. Let's look at the broader geographic context. Now, this group is going to be heavily defined by geography, with matches clustered along the West Coast corridor in Seattle, Los Angeles, and Vancouver. Operating mostly on Pacific time is a major factor, sure, but more importantly, we really need to understand how the new 48-team progression format drastically changes the math here. The top 2 teams still advance automatically, but crucially, the 8 best third-place teams across all 12 groups will also survive to see the brand new round of 32. So why does this matter? Because finishing third is literally no longer an automatic death sentence. This completely rewrites the strategic calculus. It drastically raises the stakes, especially for underdogs who know that just grinding out a gritty draw or even keeping the goal difference tight could be their actual ticket to the knockouts. Moving on to Section 2, Belgium, the last dance, the end of an era. So, introducing the heavyweight of the group, Belgium. This is honestly a bittersweet narrative. What we're watching here is very likely the final chapter of Belgium's famed golden generation. Guys like Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, and Thibaut Courtois have carried the hopes of this entire nation for a decade. And after a completely disastrous group stage exit back in 2022, this is realistically their last dance together on the world stage. Leading them into this tournament is their new head coach, Rudi Garcia. His mindset is crystal clear. We should fear nobody, that's for sure. Garcia has worked incredibly hard to instill a confident, aggressive, attacking mentality to finally deliver a major trophy. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what to expect from Belgium tactically. They typically set up in a 4-2-3-1 shape. Now, their strengths are undeniable. Courtois is an absolute wall and goal. De Bruyne orchestrates these lightning-quick vertical transitions, and Lukaku is right there to finish them. Throw in the incredible pace of Doku on the wing, and yet they are absolutely lethal. But actually, scratch that. Look at the weaknesses column. Their central defense really isn't what it used to be. And critically, they deeply struggle against tight, compact defensive blocks, which, spoiler alert, is exactly what their Group G opponents are going to throw at them. Heading into the tournament, Belgium sits at number 9 in the FIFA World Rankings. Yes, they've fallen from that historic number 1 spot they held onto for so many years. But hey, don't let that fool you. They remain the undisputed top dog in Group G, bringing a level of top-tier European club experience that the other 3 teams just simply cannot match. Section 3, Egypt, Salah's final shot at chasing history. Let's shift our focus to the Pharaohs. Egypt's campaign carries this enormous emotional gravity. Much like Belgium's veterans, this tournament represents Mohamed Salah's final shot at the World Cup. He's completely conquered club football, right? But he is desperately chasing a historic first-ever World Cup match win for his nation, a football-obsessed country of 100 million people. And there is a beautiful, almost cinematic symbolism to Egypt's setup right now. The 33-year-old Salah is sitting just 2 goals behind the all-time national team scoring record of 69. And who holds that record? The very man sitting on the bench managing him, head coach Hassan Hassan. You really can't write that. So Coach Hassan has built a very specific tactical structure to support his star players. Egypt relies on an incredibly rigid, defensively disciplined foundation. They play a really risk-minimizing 4-2-3-1 shape. The whole goal here is to just draw the opponent in, absorb all that pressure, and then unleash rapid, direct transitions.
They lean incredibly heavily on Salah and his Premier League-tested partner, Omar Marmoush, to strike on the break. It is a system perfectly designed to maximize the impact of their absolute superstars.
To understand just how effective this system is, look at this number, plus 18. That was Egypt's staggering goal differential during their qualifying campaign. Even more impressively, they scored 20 goals and only conceded 2 across 10 matches. That just proves they are an absolute defensive fortress. Trying to break them down is going to be incredibly frustrating for any opponent. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly close the battle for second place is shaping up to be. I mean, it is a statistical dead heat. Egypt has a 16.3% chance of winning the group versus Iran's 14.6%. Projected goals, 3.2 for Egypt, 3.3 for Iran. These two teams are separated by the absolute narrowest of margins, which just builds incredible tension for their massive Matchday 3 showdown in Seattle.
Section 4. Iran, the Asian powerhouse. Team Mehdi.
Iran arrives in North America as a highly disciplined, completely battle-hardened squad. This actually marks their 4th consecutive World Cup appearance, making them a fixture on this stage. And they are desperate to finally break through and escape the group stage for the very first time. They're managed by Amir Galanoy, who employs a deeply pragmatic philosophy built on collective resistance. Galanoy will willingly concede possession. Honestly, Iran doesn't need the ball to be dangerous. They frustrate opponents through a fiercely organized 4-2-3-1 defensive shape, basically daring you to try and find a way through their elite defensive block density. Their tactical weapons are very clear and highly effective. Beyond that incredibly compact block, they utilize lethal counterattacking speed out in the wide areas. But the true focal point is their captain, Mehdi Taremi. With 59 international goals to his name, Taremi's elite finishing means Iran literally only needs one mistake from an opponent to punish them. And down at the other end, goalkeeper Alireza provides exceptional shot-stopping ability, constantly keeping them in games when the pressure really mounts. However, Iran's preparation has featured a highly publicized off-field storyline. In March 2026, star striker Sardar Azmoun was dropped from the squad over alleged social media posts. By May, the country's vice president publicly appealed for his recall, but by June, Azmoun was excluded entirely from the final World Cup list. Just looking objectively at the facts here, this politically motivated exclusion has a direct, massive impact on the pitch. The loss of a player with 57 international goals drastically affects Iran's attacking metrics and completely removes their second most dangerous goal threat.
Moving into Section 5, New Zealand, the disciplined underdog.
The All-Whites arrive as gritty, physical disruptors.
Returning to the world stage after a 16-year absence, New Zealand arrives ranked 85th in the world. They are the undeniable, massive underdogs of Group G. Head coach Darren Baisley brings a highly pragmatic, absolutely nothing-to-lose mindset to his squad. He's been telling them that the time for discussions is over. We need to head to the tournament and make history for New Zealand. They know for sure they're facing significantly higher-ranked global opponents, but they're completely embracing the role of the outsider with everything to gain.
So how exactly do they plan to bridge that massive quality gap? Well, by turning football matches into sheer physical battles. New Zealand operates a highly structured, super compact 4-4-2 defense. They have a total disregard for possession etiquette. They honestly don't care if you have the ball. Instead, they rely entirely on their extreme physical attributes, firing direct balls over the top and maintaining a hyper-focus on set-piece efficiency. They want to create absolute aerial chaos, specifically targeting their captain, Premier League veteran Chris Wood, who is just a monster in the air. So, the crucial point is, never underestimate New Zealand's ability to frustrate elite teams. This number 3 represents the 2010 World Cup, where New Zealand famously secured 3 undefeated draws against the likes of Italy and Slovakia. They proved right then and there that a fiercely committed defensive structure can genuinely lock down vastly superior opponents. And you can bet they'll be looking to channel that exact same spirit in 2026. Section 6. Predictions and key matchups. Let's move to and see how this builds towards the climactic projection of the group's final standings. We've seen the strengths, the weaknesses, and the tactical setups, right? Well, based on the statistical modeling and the tactical matchups, here is the predicted table. Belgium is projected to top the group with 9 points, sweeping their matches. But look at that razor-thin margin for second place. Egypt is projected to just edge out Iran 4 points to 3, largely due to Salah's individual brilliance in those key clutch moments. Iran finishes third, keeping them right in the hunt for one of those progression spots depending on results in other groups. And New Zealand is projected to finish fourth with 1 point, likely frustrating one of the teams with a really hard-fought draw. Ultimately, it all comes down to execution on the day. Will Belgium's golden generation finally put it all together? Will Salah carry Egypt to history? Can Iran's collective defense completely suffocate their opponents? Or will New Zealand's aerial chaos shock the world? Who will survive the heavy, slow, and brutally unforgiving battles of Group G? Keep these tactical breakdowns in mind as you watch the drama unfold. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.